Dear men, we need to have a serious discussion here. It's time we face the truth and come to a unanimous agreement. It's evident that men are weak when it comes to women in peaceful scenarios. Just take a look around and see how many men are still chasing after women despite the biased laws that work against us. It's a clear sign that men are powerless when it comes to the irresistible allure of the opposite sex. No matter what era we're in, the results speak for themselves. Just look at the number of men who are getting screwed over in family court as we speak. This is the hard truth, my friends. We can't deny it any longer. Ninjas are weak, plain and simple. If we want to make any progress, we need to admit that we have a problem. We can't fix what we refuse to acknowledge. Otherwise, I fear that our ability to stand our ground will crumble before our very eyes. Let's face it, most Western women are not wife material. It's an undisputed fact. They treat us like garbage, use us for our money, and give us nothing in return. They have no respect for us or even their own bodies. So, gentlemen, it's time to focus and address these issues head on. We need to be strong and find a way to navigate these treacherous waters. Western relationships are a mess, and it's up to us to change that. But it starts with admitting our weaknesses and banding together to find a solution. We can't let this continue. Our future as men depends on it.
So let's talk passport bros real quick, because this is becoming a huge trend in society today. Why men are going overseas to find women in the Philippines, Brazil, wherever the case may be, South America. Let's use a specific demographic of type of women and why these women are so incredible. So for example, Japanese women are very, very feminine. Men love this. I was actually in Asia myself. They're very demure, so they're modest. They're not combative. They're not trashy, and they're not outspoken, loud and obnoxious. But they are very honorable women in the sense that they don't just do something and think like, oh, what is this effect going to have on me? They think, oh, what is this effect going to have on my dad? What is this effect going to have on my spouse, on my boyfriend? How is this going to affect my family? That, gentleman, is a really good girl to have around. A woman that considers all of her actions are going to affect not only her, but every single person around her. That's the kind of woman you want, guys.
I want to set the record straight when it comes to women in the West versus women overseas. Let's not get carried away with the notion that women from traditional households or cultures are inherently superior to Western women. Don't misunderstand me. Women are women, no matter where you meet them, and they all have the same fundamental nature. I don't want you to start thinking that women overseas are leagues ahead of Western women, because that's not entirely accurate. The main difference is that many foreign women might offer more in a relationship than their Western counterparts. Why? Well, it's simply because they need men or a support system to live a better life. They understand the value of having dual incomes or a higher income. They're not self-sufficient like many women in America, the UK, or Canada who don't rely on men for survival. But here's the thing, gentlemen. Feminism exists overseas too. These women are influenced by American culture once they have access to the internet and smartphones. The only reason they may not fully embrace feminist ideology is that it might not work in their local context, or their families and society hold them accountable. Economic constraints in their countries prevent them from being so-called independent. I need you to grasp this perspective before we move forward. You see things as a foreigner, but you're not experiencing the local struggles and the challenges faced by those who are financially strapped. So, let's keep our minds open and recognize that the grass isn't always greener on the other side.
And I think women get so angry with dudes going overseas to find love or to find women that they are attracted to is because they realize, and this is my opinion, right? I think that they realize that they no longer have the leverage that they once had when the men were only in America, because at one point, those women were the only options they had. And because typically women outside of the...
When you travel to foreign lands, you might notice that women treat you differently because they perceive you as having money compared to local men. They will treat you better, not because they are inherently better themselves, but because they want to offer more upfront value to lock you down in a relationship. It's a common trick employed by women everywhere to lure men away from their competition and into a stable partnership. Some of these women might genuinely like you, but they are also smart enough to recognize a man who can potentially change their lives. So they will do whatever it takes to get you into a committed relationship. They'll shower you with attention, take care of you, provide for you, and indulge in intimacy whenever you desire. Some may even want you to father their children, so they don't miss out on a golden opportunity. Here's the thing though. Many men are unaware of this tactic and fall for overseas women, thinking they are superior. But in reality, they are just being treated better up front. It's essential to understand the distinction. Let's get back to these lost Western women. I don't want to hear any excuses, gentlemen. Many of you have been with women who you knew deep down were terrible human beings. Yet you stayed because of how they treated you or the benefits you gained from the relationship. So, let's not jump to conclusions and assume that overseas women are good or better than Western women just because they treat you better. Keep your eyes open and recognize the true nature of females, regardless of their location. Men have historically been advised against bringing foreign women back to their own countries, suggesting that there is a reason behind this caution. Many men who have done so and later regret their decision, as the women supposedly changed and exhibited negative behavior once they arrived in a different environment. Women's treatment of men is influenced by societal norms and their social circles. Women treat men differently based on their perceived value and financial status, but in general, all women have the potential to harm men emotionally and financially, similar to women in the West. There is a perceived societal shift in the West where women are encouraged to prioritize their independence and achievements over their relationships with men. This emphasis on independence has revealed the true nature of women when they no longer rely on men for survival or view them as valuable.
You know what you have, Myron, that you give the modern woman what they need?
What?
Guidance.
Guidance, yeah.
Guidance, because these bitches are lost, bro. These bitches are so lost. When I see a woman's like, you know what? I think I'm going to do OnlyFans. I'm like, yeah, your dad didn't love you.
Yeah. Because y'all even admit it before. Girls give each other terrible advice, and all the things that we tell women to do nowadays are destructive. Stay single. Go ahead and push off having children until you're older. Get an education. Make a career. Make a lot of money. Be successful. Get that title. All these things limit your ability to find a man. If your goals don't align with mine, then fuck you. I'm not going to deal with you because I'm the man. I'm the one that needs to perform. You don't have to perform. It's mandatory for the man to get shit done. It's not mandatory for the woman to be successful. So fuck your dreams. My dreams matter more because if I dream big, we both win. If you dream big, you're going to leave me.
So in America, men's standards are non-existent and women's standards are way too fucking high. And then both of these people need to get their fucking head out of their ass and come together and get over this shit.
The dark side of female nature is now fully on display as women embrace true freedom without consequences or judgments. Women in Western societies, liberated from traditional values, tend to abandon men when given the chance. Women are no longer naturally traditional, moral, or ethical, but rather adhere to standards imposed by men, religion, and society. As men became weak and allowed women to do as they please, societal standards relaxed, leading to the current state in the West. Women are embracing their dark femininity and treating men poorly because men are spineless and accept such treatment. If men stop accepting mistreatment and choose their own paths, women would change out of necessity. The society, elites, and the media are to blame for suppressing positive masculinity while promoting femininity. A group of brave men have decided to reject Western women and pursue their own paths. These men choose to live freely, leave the Western society, and seek better opportunities abroad. They view themselves as heroes, making a positive change by resisting societal expectations. Here's a piece of advice for men. Stay single until laws and women change for the better. The system is biased against men. Western women despise men, and weak men will continue to idolize femininity. Therefore, it is logical for you as a man to abandon the system and pursue their own paths until significant changes occur. What do you think? Tell us down in the comments section. Be sure to subscribe and activate the notifications bell. Also like and share the video, champs. Thank you for watching.